Oh, hey JJ, how you doing?
Oh, you wouldn't believe it. I just emailed Dan to ask him the status of the project that's due
Yeah,
on
that's
Friday.
why I was coming over.
And he just replied, yup. Like, yup? What do you mean, yup? Like,
Yup.
is it going to be done or not? Like,
Right.
we're all under a ton of pressure here. Like, why does he come off like
He
this?
always does that when we're under stress. It's awful.
It's unbelievable. It's like he doesn't even care.
right.
So, Melissa, I want to talk about misreading emails because I spend most of my day in my email or on our messaging app called Slack,
Yeah.
talking with my colleagues. Sometimes I get emails that seem kind of crabby, right?
Yes,
And I think I
indeed.
probably send some emails that also seem kind of crabby.
Get out.
So I wanted to talk about misreading context in
That's a
emails
great idea.
and texting.
Yeah, it's a great topic. And I actually was wondering if you've ever noticed that your own mood seems to be projected onto all of your emails as you're
Oh.
going through them. So if I'm not in a great mood, when I'm hustling through my emails, everything has sort of a little bit of a crabbier tone.
Oh, that's a really interesting idea, right? So if I'm maybe sitting down at the end of my day and
Yes.
I'm really out of energy and
Tired,
I
yeah.
just need to get through some emails, I wonder if all those emails
Yeah.
seem to me, be a little more crabby than they normally would be.
Yeah, yeah. And as we're talking about awareness, I think like that's the number one thing first. Check your own energy, right? Check your energy as you're reading things, check your energy as you're sending things, because it really can make a big difference.
Yeah. So we talk a lot about when we're either getting or sending emails, people's personality types, right?
Yeah,
Like, I'm very succinct.
yeah.
So a lot of times I'll send an email that just says, okay, or got it, or yup,
Right.
which maybe is not very well received by someone who needs a little bit more detail or explanation about things.
Sure, yeah, that's right. And for me, I like a little more context around things. So I would prefer a little more explanation or not volumes, but I do like to have a little more. So just even in that difference, if you add your own state of awareness to it or your own mood to it, that can really impact the success of that exchange.
And if we think about who we're sending an email to and their personality type, right?
Yeah.
I've got a couple of colleagues that really need a lot of detail. So when
Yes.
I send that really short email, what that's comes back to me with is like, hey, I need a whole bunch more from you. And then I get kind of annoyed, right?
Right,
So
right.
if I think about when I'm sending an email, like, okay, John's gonna need a lot of detail.
Yeah.
When I respond to him, put that detail in because it's gonna really shorten
Yeah,
that
the exchange.
email exchange. Yeah.
Right, right. And I always say, like, you can tell going back and forth, right? If something starts to become too long of an exchange, it could be text too. Like we keep saying email, but it could be really any written varieties. And you had mentioned your messaging system that you guys use. So it really is anything in writing. Just absolutely noticing, first of all, what does that other person need from me? And what do I need? Because if I can help that other person get their needs met first, then it's likely I'm going to get my stuff done in the speed and way that I need to get my stuff done.
And you mentioned sometimes if an email exchange starts getting too long,
Yeah.
what do we do?
Yeah, right. I think for me, if the exchange is any longer than three texts or 3 emails, then it's time to go face to face or pick up the phone or something like that.
Pick up the phone. That sounds terrifying because I don't do that. But instead of that, we use actually video conferencing a lot. So
Yeah.
I've found that a lot of the times when something gets too back and forth, it is really good to just like hop on a Slack call,
Yeah.
boot up Zoom and hop into a video chat because
Yeah.
really a lot of our communication is nonverbal.
Yeah, over 85% actually.
When we're only doing text exchanges, think about how much information we're actually stripping away
Yeah.
from our communication.
Yeah, it's
That's
so
all that
true.
context about our mood and how we're
Yeah.
feeling and what we're trying to convey. So really, if we want to be effective communicators, we do have to use the other mediums. Email and chat is super fast, it's super convenient.
Right.
We can do it kind of, I'd say, asynchronously, like I can just fire off messages at random parts of the day.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of loss there.
Yeah,
Right? So
there
we should
is.
really think about that, especially if we're dealing with something that a topic that, maybe needs a creative exchange is maybe sensitive or emotional.
Yes.
And we want to convey that to that person.
Or
right?
timely as well, too. Sometimes it's just a really quick time frame. So yeah, those are all great. So just the quick recap. Make sure you're checking your energy when you're reading stuff and when you're sending stuff out. And assume goodwill. I didn't say that, but I always want to say assume goodwill. And then also check your tone. Is it matching what your other teammate would really prefer so that you can get your needs met and they can get their needs met? And then also remember that these written communications never ever replace the connection that we have as people. And if you can think about it like that, make your choices accordingly.